On a Chodesh Tov and Mazel Tov to Yosef on his Bar Mitzvah actually today. Today is Rosh Chodesh Kislev. In addition to being Rosh Chodesh, which in itself is a joyous day, it's also Yosefs Bar Mitzvah, which is a second reason why it's joyous. But there's a third reason which makes it a chazaka why it's a joyous day. And that is that for Chabad Hasidim in particular, but really for all Jews, this is a very significant day. Why? Because in 1977, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, during Simchas Torah celebrations, had a heart attack. And he was rushed to his room, and he was in critical condition. And thank God, he didn't want to go to the hospital, so he stayed in his room. All the medical care was brought to his room in 770 Eastern Parkway. This was on Simchas Torah. And the first time he was able to go home to his wife was today, Rosh Chodesh Kislev, which means his recovery was considered today, that he was able to leave his makeshift hospital room in the office of 770 and go home. And thank God he went on to live another 17 years of leading not just the Chabad community, but worldwide Jewry. So it's a holiday today, Rosh Chodesh Kislev. And everyone knows Lubavitcher Rebbe was the most positive person. I've mentioned many times, he didn't even use negative words like, he never called hospitals Bet Cholim, house for the sick. He called it Bet Refuah, house of healing. He always found a positive way to say things. But one of the stories that were related by his doctors was that right after he had the heart attack, they were treating him in his room, and a team of physicians came immediately from all over the world actually, and they were urging the Rebbe to take good care of his health, to pay attention to his condition so he recovers. And one of the doctors said to the Rebbe, you know, there's a 80% chance that if you don't take care of yourself at this point, you could have a second heart attack within a few days. That many heart attack patients have a second heart attack within a few days if you don't take care of yourself. So it's important you take care of yourself. And the Rebbe didn't respond. So the doctor wanted to make sure the Rebbe got the message. So he said, Rebbe, do you understand what I said? The Rebbe looked at the doctor and he said, yes. What you said is that even if I don't take care of myself, there's still a 20% chance that I won't have a second heart attack. And that was the Rebbe's way of always looking at the good in everything, but especially the good in every Jew. The Rebbe always saw the good in every Jew. And in this week's parsha, we read the story of Yitzchak and how Isaac is on his deathbed, and the Torah says he's blind at the end of his life. He can't see. And he calls his older son Esav and he says, go prepare a meal, I'm going to give you a blessing. We all know the story. Jacob disguises himself on his mother's urging like his brother Esav, and he takes the blessings from his father. However, he then gives an additional blessing to his son Esav. And Rashi says, why was Isaac blind? What was the cause of his blindness? Was it a medical condition? And Rashi gives various answers. And one of the answers that Rashi gives was that the blindness of Isaac was deliberately designed by God. Why? Because God didn't want him to see who Yaakov and Esav were so that he could give the blessings to Esav. God wanted that Isaac should be blind so that Isaac should give the blessings to Esav. That he should give the blessings to Jacob. Because if he was able to see, he would give the blessings to the wrong child. And what we learn from here, perhaps, is that Rashi is telling us that God didn't want Isaac to see anything negative in his son Esav. And therefore he designed it in a way that he should give the blessings to Jacob while thinking it's Esav, so that the blessings should reach not only Jacob, but it should reach Esav as well. When I think about the Rebbe's legacy was that every Jew should receive all of Hashem's blessings, that we should see the good in every Jew and never see the negative in any human being. And I just want to say to Yosef, our son, who's Bar Mitzvah today, that Yosef, one of his great qualities, he always sees the good in people. Many times when others see negative, he points out the good immediately. And so our blessing to you, Yosef, is that you should always see the world and see other people, and most importantly, see yourself in a positive light. You should be blind to anything negative. Your eyes should only see good, and this should lead to a life of happiness and health, and nachas from yourself, and nachas to your family, and to Klal Yisrael. None of